Alright, so now, I'm already got in the battle. I need to heal, but for this episode, it's going to try to focus on the sunken sea shrine. But before we do that, we gotta find a way to get to it. We mentioned that I believe someone had made some kind of like barrel, but it doesn't really work because you don't have oxygen. There's some things we can do, but first here, we can land here. Now that we have the airship. It'll take us to Gaia. This is Gaia. Outsiders often call our town the Eye of the Hawk. To our south is an ancient city known as the Wing of the Hawk. If you visit the Wing of the Hawk, I can't understand a word they say there. They seem to speak a different language. Last episode, we also got a promotion for classes. Should also mention that. I don't believe it. You're an outsider, aren't you? How did you make it this high? How'd you make it up this high in the mountains? Can you fly or something? No, that's impossible, right? Well, we technically didn't fly. We took a flying ship. My dad was always telling me how the castle to the west was a place to test your courage. I believe that is referring to like the Citadel of Courage or whatever it was called. To where you get the rat's tail to give to Bahamut. A fairy was living in our springs, but I haven't seen her lately. I wonder what happened to her. Just seems to be a spring and a fairy around here. I saw a shining light fly off to the west. In the night sky, I know I saw it. There's something to the west of here might be of interest. There's a scholar studying Lufinian language, the Lufinian language, but it doesn't seem. But I can't seem to recall his name. I don't think this really sells anything. Item shops don't really sell anything new as you progress. I think they always just end up selling the same thing. It's more the armory and the magic shop who always sell something different. Before we actually buy anything, I think we should kind of focus on certain story aspects first. There seems to actually be two mage shops. You have two white mage shops and two black magic shops. That room's always trying to weasel its way out of its chores. I don't know what to do with it. Well, that's your own problem for giving a broom a conscience or making it sentient. The tower in the Yanikumura desert. I don't think I said that right. Yanikurum desert. No one can enter. Some people think it's nothing but a mirage, but I call it the Mirage Tower. But so it's called the Mirage Tower. No one can say for sure though. I didn't say the sky people could soar through the skies and build castles above clouds. Didn't mean to leave. See, I think that's really all here is like equipment. But equipment that I think is worthwhile, but we'll come back to that a little bit. Let's see. Land right here. We got More monsters. Shouldn't be too difficult. They're even running away, so even the ogres are actually running away. If we go right here, we can actually seems to be like a little shop. Bottle Ferry. 40,000. And you need this. This is required, so you need 40,000. A gil at this point. If not, then you're just grinding monsters. I believe in the original game it was actually 50,000, but it seems to have changed it. Or maybe it was always 40,000. Maybe it was 50,000 in the PSP. So we have a bottled ferry. If we remember when we talked to that one woman who said that there was a fairy that lived in the spring, or lived by a spring, that's cute to kind of bring the fairy back here. I think the cue to find the fairy, if I leave here, this says something about shining to the west, which I think that was the cue to find the fairy. Let's see, who said something like that? No. You talk about the airship. This talks about the ferry. Nope, it talks about where you can find the rat tail. Yeah, I believe that's kind of referencing that you need to head on the west side of the map to go there. But it's faster if you fly east and just wrap around the world. I don't know. There might be. I don't think there's anything that actually tells you that to go to that desert area that has the ferry. Like you kind of just have to stumble upon it. I don't know if there really is any secret. I got the ferry, so I figured she's mine to do with us. Please, what's the big deal? So I sold her to the cavern. Oh, so okay, so oh, this is the church. I didn't think there was actually anything up here yet, but I guess I was wrong. So that's your hint. You're the ones who rescued me from that bottle. Sorry about running away, but I was so scared. I'll get you some oxyle from the bottle of the spring to make up for it, okay? So this will allow us to go to the sunken shrine. Air will flow out of that water as long as you have it. So that's now we can use that to go through the shrine, or like use the barrel. You said that there was no air, but now we have an option to breathe air while we're in the barrel, so we can go to the sunken shrine. But before this, now that we've spent the money to buy the ferry, we can now. I think it's safe to buy some things. That's a lot of money, but sell some things. That. Yeah, that can go. That can go. That can go. Yeah, that can go. What does Defender? I think we need the money more. I'll just sell these two. We got more money. I think we should probably sleep in first. Actually, I'll just cut this part out. Let's take a look at the magic. Ooh. Fully restores 1 allies HP, cures some stats effects. That's a really good one. I think I will buy it. I don't think we need to buy the other one. I don't know if like the upgraded spells of it, like the Dia, because I think even the base damage just does a lot. I don't really see a point of getting the upgraded ones. Petrifies one enemy. So that's level 7. Magic, which, guess yeah, level 7 stuff. 8. And see if this gives us to level 8. We can buy level 8 magic. We actually join. These shops have to join together. These are level 8. Do all damage with Holy Light. So this is not like the Dia, which only does damage to undead monsters. So if you try to use them against non-undead monsters, you'll do nothing. Holy is an actual damaging spell for the White Mage. Let's see. All these are pretty good. I think the best one is probably Null Hall. They all really help. Let's see. Stop. That's probably not useful because most enemies, especially bosses, will probably resist. Stop. Warp. So instantly kills one enemy. That's probably very not useful as it's not consistent. Warp, I think, which does the same thing. It's just if you use kill, you will get experience and gold from it. But I don't think if you warp, it will like pretty much insta kill it, but you won't get any experience for it. I think I will buy no all. I think that's it. I think I will buy, I think it was the Blizzarda? Yeah. What's this? Yep. So, oops. These are actually not bad. I got nothing from level 4. I probably didn't think it was useful. When it comes to White Mage, I think the ones you want are the healing ones. Dia, I think that's it. You just need the base form. I don't think you really need anything past that. Protect and Invis are pretty good for like early games. Of course you get Protectora and Visera, which I think those are definitely really good. Because it's the same thing, but just affects the entire party, not just one. And then Advanced Heal. And of course, Life. I think with the White Mage, you just buy the pretty much the completely useful things. I wouldn't worry too much. Things like curing random status effects or something random, because you can buy items pretty cheap for that. For the Black Mage or Wizard, having like a couple damage ones, nice, to like new damage. But I think the best things are really probably Temper and Haste. So that's just it. You don't really have to buy every spell, like, cause I think I'm pretty much done with Magic. Like, I could probably beat the game easily with these, with all this. I don't really need any more. And that's probably actually about it, really. Because this is still a first game. It's a technically NES game or a Famicom game. It's not going to be super complicated. The Magic system is very simple. And it's clear that which ones are the good ones and which ones are not really worthwhile. So back in the on-rack, that we have the thing that we got from the ferry. Forgot what it's called. We can go back here. Oxile. You have Oxale. You're the ones we've been waiting for. Please save the mermaids. Oh. Okay. I guess there was a ghost. Sunken Shrine, starting on floor 3. Yeah, punch a shark. Like a real man. That's what Jack would have done. So this is the same as any of the other two dungeons, like the earth and the fire one. It's not going to be too difficult. I think the only thing about of this dungeon is that there is an item in a chest somewhere in this dungeon that we do need to get in order to progress past this dungeon, after you beat the dungeon. And it is missable, not like permanently, like if you didn't get it, you'll never get it again. Is that you can go beat the boss of this dungeon, of the shrine, without getting the item, and you won't be able to progress after you beat the boss. And so, and if you do that, then you just have to enter back in this dungeon and try to find it. And it will be in a chest. It's not going to be like on the random ground somewhere. So just, explore, go into every room, open every chest. It's really like to do. And you'll probably find it. nothing. The encounter rate could have been lower here. I think it's a little too much. But I guess that's the idea of difficulty in this game. Is that the more monsters that they constantly keep throwing at you, the more difficult it is, rather than actually making the monsters difficult. Nope, can't go down here. Some more gil. We could use the gil because we spent a lot before entering this dungeon.